Hello farmers, and welcome back to Pichonniere Valley on Farming Simulator 25. It has been a couple of weeks, and I'm not really sure what we were exactly doing, by having a quick look as the stream was booting up. I see that we just finished all of the harvest in all the fields apparently. Oh, there goes Sam's tennis ball rolling on down. But yeah, looks like we have finished all the harvest, so we just got to get the fields all set for the next planting. So I got to look at the crop rotations, see what I was planning on doing, or have I gotten that far? I don't remember. So might be a slow start-ish kind of here as I try to regroup and gather myself for what we're doing here. Hello, Bob and Miles. Hope you guys have been well. So yeah, I have not streamed really since like last Thursday. I tried streaming on Friday, but for some reason, the video portion of the stream was lagging terribly. The audio seemed fine, but the visual side of things were terrible. I was going to be streaming Alaska Gold Fever, and well, I ended up just kind of making that into a recorded series. Got, what, 4 episodes or 3 episodes out, whatever it is. The game got released today. But yeah, I made videos on that. And yeah, I just had a busy weekend, so just couldn't do any streaming. But and yesterday I had a doctor's appointment I had to go to, so yeah, but now we're back. And today, of course, we're doing a little bit of Farm Sim 25. Probably going to be taking a little bit of break from Farmer's Dynasty until they get some more updates out on that. So, not sure when I'll get back into Farmer's Dynasty just yet. But I'm going to take probably this week off from doing Farmer's Dynasty, unless they have a pretty big update that could give us more things to do. Not that I don't have things to do, but I'm just saying, as long as I can fix a couple more things and add a couple more things is what I'm looking for. Oh, that's right. This is a round baler, not a square baler. Oh yeah, turn on automatic drop. So I did see when I was looking around just a few minutes ago, I'm like, oh, I got a tractor over here. It's like, oh, I got some straw. So we're going to bale up this straw first off, and then I think I need to go to the bale shed for the cows, because I got to see what I got for inventory for the cows. Maybe we'll keep the straw. I don't know. Also got to see how many hay bales I got, how many silage bales, because I don't remember at all. So anyways, hopefully everyone's had a good couple of the last couple days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever it's been. But yet we're back here in Pichonniere Valley. Also, on the day that the game had an update, I did not read the patch notes when Giant sent them over to me a couple days ago. I just figured, well, whatever the patch notes are, I'm sure it's better, right? We hope it's better. Waiting for that bale to drop. I did add a mod to the series. I had to go to the mods list this morning because it's been about a week and a half before since I checked mods. One mod I did add is right here, automatic milk distribution. So this milk should automatically go to our dairy production? Question mark. So I'll have to see if that actually works. Maybe I should actually disable that until I can turn it on and we can check it for ourselves. That way I know it's going to our dairy production. So the only thing I know about our fields is that they're all harvested and none of them need to be soil sampled. As for pH value and what crop goes into them next, have no idea. I also don't know what I was planning to do financially with the money, other than I would like to buy the big dairy production on the map. That's all I remembered about getting in line. I don't remember if I was going to buy anything for the farm, for tractors or anything like that. I do remember the Kubota, looking to get the 200 horsepower Kubota. But other than that, I don't remember or recall that much of what we were kind of accomplished here. Hello, Emma. Hope you're doing well on a Tuesday. I gotta remind myself that today's Tuesday. My brain keeps trying to overwrite that and tell me it's a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. So yeah, so at least over the weekend, since I didn't stream, I think you had an episode of City Skylines 2, and you had about 3 episodes of Alaska Gold Fever. Farmer's Dynasty 2 got Slider where we make stuff? I didn't see that. But that's not going to be enough for me to get back in to do currently what we are doing. Apparently they fixed the sheep missions. Not the ones that you've already have taken and can't find the sheep, but they said from now on, any sheep missions that you do take in Farmer's Dynasty 2, you should be able to find them. You're in Australia, so it's Wednesday for you. Another Aussie. Welcome. I try to remember where some people are from. I know a couple of other people from Australia that come in here quite often, so I try to remind myself. Yeah, you guys are usually just about 12 hours ahead of me, so. Well, a good Wednesday to you, Emma. Hopefully the middle of your week is going well. Appreciate you either staying up late or getting up early, one or the other, to be here to watch a little bit of farming today. And actually, it felt pretty good not doing much farm sim the last couple of weeks. So getting back into it today, it feels a little refreshing in some ways. So far my Tuesday's going well. The weather's warming up. For us, it's the beginning of spring, really. Actually slept with my bedroom window open last night, which is like really the first time I've done it since like last October. So, if you're kind of new to my series here on Pichonniere Valley, we do have some restrictions that we put on ourselves, and basically the main one we just got to remember at this point is we're not allowed to have any tractors over the 200 horsepower mark. So, this series here is trying to keep me from expanding to just going right to the big stuff, and sticking to the small to small medium kind of equipment. Can't take out any loans, and we cannot lease anything either. But we're far enough into the series where loans and leasing not really a restriction I have to be too concerned about. Yeah, you guys are headed off into the winter. About a week ago or so, I woke up to some pretty heavy snow showers and ended up getting about 2 or 3 inches of snow, but luckily didn't stick around that long this time of year. I am ready for the warmer weather. But appreciate you staying up late, Emma, for some Farm Sim 25 today. I didn't check to see if they added any new equipment in the patch. I know Precision Farming and the Highland expansion, and I think also the last DLC all had updates to it. So after we pick up the straw, we're going to look at our crop rotation cycle and see if did I plan things out already, or do we got to set it up? And basically what we got to check for is which field or fields are going to have canola into it. No new equipment, just bug fixes. The only thing I was sure to do before I started, after I updated today, is make sure I cleaned my shader cache. My shader cache, and make sure I had a fresh start on that. One thing I do remember, I don't think here we are going to be expanding to any more fields. For that bale to drop. But yeah, I think I'm kind of working towards a 350,000 for the large dairy production on the map. I do have a dairy production on the farm, but that's a modded one. I want to get the one that's actually on the Pichonniere Valley map. So this Fendt 920 is pretty much our workhorse on the farm, being the biggest tractor we can get. It is I think it's a 200 horsepower, which is right at the limit of what we can do. There is rain in the forecast, and that should not affect us for what we have to do. Oh yeah, the other mod that did come out in the past couple days I think it's this upgraded mod that I had before, and that's the move object mod. So any placeable I put down, we can move it. I think it's called Move Object Advanced mod. So it's kind of good, like if you put down a placeable and you're like, I don't like where that's placed, or after maybe a while you want to just move stuff around in the farm, instead of putting down another shed and deleting the old one, you can just move the original one that you have. But I'm going to assume it's like the older mod to where you want to pay a slight fee for it to be moved. And just a few more passes on the straw. Yeah, the other thing that we might end up doing, we also had a restriction on horsepower for combines, but yeah, we may upgrade our combine in the distant future, unless it comes up for sale on the sale page. Oops, Bale coming out. I was more focused on just trying to get the last swath. Didn't know I was full. So I don't know if that is the only field I have straw in, or had straw in. Looks like that field over there I did bale. Yeah, I may have to jump around my fields a bit to get myself caught up what we're doing here. This field, nope, I baled that one. Wait, what other field do I have here? Oh, up here, 94. This was canola, so that's not going to have anything in it. I think this field was canola, which it was. So yeah, I think we're all set. Our grass fields. Nope, wrong field. Grass fields down here, sir. Yep, we wrapped our grass bales, and those are 12% fermented. So I think I'm done with the baler for now. Never mind the chickens that are roaming around the yard. Let's run over to the bale shed so I can see what I got for bales for the moo cows. Alright, we don't have many straw bales, so need to keep some of those. Looks like hay bales, I think I'm good for a while. And silage bales, I may keep everything that we just made for the cows. So not going to be something in the silage this cycle here. Let's see, grass field, that looks like it needs some lime into it. So if this one needs lime, I think this one's going to also. Yeah, that says it needs lime, so those two need to be done. If those two need to be done, this one probably does as well. Kind of. But looks like it might. All right, so what I need to do, and I'm going to try to do this clockwise motion. We're going to go to field 65. So I got to look at the crop rotation and see what's going to go in here next. So field 65 was barley, then oats. 65 was barley and oats. Looks like I was planning on putting mustard in here. Okay. That will work. That's considered a cover crop. So I'm going to go with mustard because I would like to make some mustard. So we'll keep that there. All right, so let's go now to field 94. 94 was barley, then canola. Spring barley, then canola. So this is the one we got to change. Triticale, rye would be good at 120%. These crops I don't want to do. Canola, no. Barley, no. Spring wheat probably would go in this field at 120%. Or even oats. Maybe oats would be better. I mean, it could go rye. Just to be different. Alright, I'll put that as rye. Because that's 120%. Are we going to have any fields that can have canola into it? Field 16. 16 was... what? Brain fart right there. Oats and canola on 16. Oats and then canola. So oats, canola. Next one. That also should be rye at 125%. Obviously, canola is not going to be good in the same field twice. All right. So I may have to go with rye in that one as well. 125%. Hello, Kels. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday and you've been doing pretty good. All right, so that's field 16. Let's go to field number 24. This was our first harvest in this field, I do believe. So 24 was oats and then spelt. Oats, spelt. All right, so I got to figure out what should go in here next. Canola, 120%. I'm going with it. We need canola. We need canola to make oil so we can make mayonnaise. So after 24, that brings us around to field number 36. 36 was spelt and then winter wheat. And then that should be canola at 125%. So I think that's all the fields, right? We don't have that many. All right, so this field here, 36, is going to be canola. So I need to get this one. This does not need pH. And then the other one that's going to be getting canola is, where was it? 24? I think I said. Yeah, pH is okay. So both of these fields just need to get the straw bales off. And then that way in August, we should be able to plant canola in August, right? Yep, canola in August. So, let's get the straw bales off this field one. We'll use the Mercedes for that, I think. So I think I'm caught up to speed on the fields at least. So again, we're going to keep all of the straw bales and all of the silage bales, and I should have plenty of material for the cow barn for quite a while. I think we'll get them all on this trailer in one load. I was surprised with this tractor being 190 horsepower that sometimes it does, it is a manual shift gearbox, so it does take a second or two to get up to the gears. I think I can get out through here still. Not until you hit that one little bush. Trying to figure out. Yeah, I think we'll go to the other field. We'll just fill up the trailer full of bales. I got one more field to do after this, right? And then if I got any left over in the field afterwards, those I might sell. Same as wandered over here. I do just want to double check. I don't know why I have a feeling. Did I? No, I didn't turn off automatic save because it's saving. For some reason, I was thinking that maybe I'd turn that off every 10 minutes. It's normal. Yeah, I can fit 4 more bales on here. We got more than that. So the straw, of course, is for bedding for the cows and to make TMR as a patter. So these bales here, I'll just leave them probably in the field until I go to sell them. And I don't think I don't think I got any other winter crops we're going to be planting. I'll have to double check after I plant the canola in August. I have to move the John Deere so I can get these bales in there. Or do I? Nope, the John Deere is in front of the hay bales, so that works. Just trying to line this up as best as I can. And I'm going to come out to at least this far. I think these bales are going to stick out beyond the shed, but it doesn't really matter too much unless I get a tornado right over the shed itself. I mean, for the most part, they're in. Wasn't as straight as I thought it was. But, yeah, we'll probably use those up rather quickly. What does your bedding situation look like? Alright, I remember you guys hold 40,000 liters, so you're more than half full on straw. And your TMR is looking fine. Actually, how long can you guys go on your food? Up here, cows. You're good for almost 2 months on food. And I would assume the chickens are topped off because we just did a harvest apparently. And I would sure I topped them off, which I did. They're good for almost a half a year. Alright, so the animals don't need to be fed at all this month. Cows probably next month. Well, we got the trailer on here. We might as well go pick up the silage bales. And then we will put them in the shed as well. I would assume currently we are making mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. No, we are not. I got the eggs. Canola oil. Probably we are making the oil, just that it's not making it fast enough. Yes. So we are making canola oil. So we should be making mayonnaise every time the canola gets distributed to the mayonnaise production. I need to look at my stock market page to see if there's anything I should be selling this month. I think in July, probably nothing is what I need to sell. I did see some cheese at the dairy production, but July is not a good time to sell that. We'll probably sell that in September. But appreciate everyone being here today for some Farming Simulator 25. Yeah, there was no Shamburgo yesterday. Like I said, I was trying to take a mini break from Farming Simulator. Plus, I wanted to get episodes out of Alaska Gold Fever, which I wanted to stream on Friday, but the stream just wasn't cooperating. And actually, I think that that series would be better than a recorded series at this point. Hello, John. Welcome. Hope you've been well the past 4 or 5 days. I got the bales picked up just as the rain got here. Also, we should have, I need to double check on this, but we should be having another farming game coming out this month, although I haven't checked the updates on that. Hillshade Farm last I knew was coming out in April. I don't know if it still is scheduled to do so, but we did the demo version of that back in like November. Just want to grab this one silage bale that's here. You're doing fine. Well, I hope the missus is doing better as well. So these are still fermenting, but they'll be fermented before I need them. There we go. Get that back in its upright position. And then we'll just stick this bale right in front, so the cows should be all set on material for another year at least. I've been playing Farmer's Dynasty so much I was getting out of the tractor and the engine was still running. She's okay, slow but sure. I mean, any improvement is a good improvement. Right, might as well just go pick up the rest of the straw bales. And I'll probably just leave them on the trailer until I need the trailer again. Then we'll go sell them. Because obviously July, straw. Yeah, bad time of the year to be selling this. Not that the price difference is that much, but no sense in selling it if I don't need to. And I think that is all the bales picked up. I know one thing today is I woke up rather dehydrated this morning. I've been drinking tons of water. Might as well just go park this into the shed over here, and then I think we will maybe jump back into the fence and we'll get started on spreading some lime in the grass fields. Alright, before I plant the canola, I probably am going to want to grab the slurry tanker and put slurry in those fields. Well, this is full of lime. Yep, looking at the upper left-hand corner, this field was quite low on the lime. So yeah, if you have been watching the Alaska Gold Fever episodes over the weekend, I appreciate it. Played quite a bit yesterday trying to get some off-camera work done, and all the hints some people have gave me are helping out. I guess one thing I need to be careful of on that series is, yeah, if you kind of get ahead of yourself on quests, you can apparently lock yourself out of being able to advance further. So I got to be careful on the steps I take there, apparently. But so far it seems like everything's going to plan on that. I'm currently trying to save up 1,000 buckaroos to buy... It's called a farm, but it's for raising sheep, I believe. Again, if you're kind of wondering about Farmer's Dynasty, I did mention just a little while ago that probably this week I'll be taking a break from Farmer's Dynasty, just so the game can get some more updates and bug fixes done. But apparently, I think it was Miles that said that we now have a slider option for crafting, which I did not see that in the update. But unless there was an update in the past 24 hours, then I haven't noticed. So I'll have to check that out later on. Make some candlesticks with just pure wood. Start getting some money back into the bank account. I kind of hope they fix in Farmer's Dynasty to where you buy a farm and you upgrade it, that you at least make a better profit than what we currently are showing in the game. Because, man, I was really banking on that to bring in some cash for us. Okay, these are the 2 small grass fields done. Might as well top this off with some lime and go do the big grass field. While this is filling up, which is not going to take more than a second really, but let me just look at my stock market page and have a look-see. So yeah, we're going to hold on to the cheese. It's not a bad price, but it's not a great price. And right now we got $62,000 worth of cheese sitting there. And what else are we getting money on? Straw, well, we're hanging on to that. Winter wheat, we're kind of hanging on to that to feed the chickens. Yeah, we're pretty much, everything is just on. Eggs are for the mayonnaise production, which that price goes up. That's in October. So we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, and I probably should have a look because I have no idea. What's in the sale page? Well, we don't need a slurry tanker because we already got one, and we don't need an onion planter. We did onions on Kingley. Sometimes. I think I messed up 2 harvest cycles on the onions on Kingley. If you were there, you know. Probably spreading lime in the rain, not ideal. But an FS25 does not matter. So we do have the Variedo DLC, which came out about a month ago. So our grass fields will slowly take damage as we work in them. I still think this is our first year with the Variedo DLC in this Let's Play. So we do have a couple of bare spots, but nothing that's going to warrant us getting the drill and replanting the grass seed in just yet. Probably got about 9, I think they said 9 harvest cycles, so about 3 years. And 3 years from now, financially, we should be doing really good. We're doing okay now anyways, but I got more things I want to do for the farm. Bring up the mini map, you can kind of see how the pH value is looking. Yeah, we're making a huge difference here. Only thing I worry about with precision farming is on Shamburgo, the recorded series I'm doing right now, the precision farming seems to be like it's starting to fail a little bit. More so than it usually does. But, yeah, I think in the last episode I did of Shamburgo last week with, was it planting? I think it was planting a crop and The drill was not recognizing the soil that it was drilling in, even though the soil was up to date. So, but I am on like year 10 on that series, but we're also almost on year 10 here. See if I can get this field done without having to go back and refill. Well, I'll tell you what, if I do run out, it's going to be close enough where I'm not going to bother coming back. Alright, that is the lime done in the grass fields. Do we have to... nitrogen says it's actually okay. But I actually got to think... I need to wait until the grass grows. Because right now it's in the harvest state, not in the growing state. So... precision farming is not going to give me an accurate reading of the nitrogen level. So there's our current harvester, and yeah, I think I kind of remember doing the harvest last time this past season here, which probably would have been last stream. And with a 6-meter wide header, that's about the biggest I can get on there without causing problems. It took a while, so we might upgrade our harvester in the near future. Alright, so the one thing I want to test here, to make sure it's being distributed to the right place. So currently we got, it's going to be kind of hard to tell, but I got 9,000 liters of milk in the dairy production, and the cows have 2,000 liters. I want to enable automatic milk distribution. This mod came out, I would assume, just either today, yesterday, or the day before, or the last time they had it. So this should automatically go into the dairy production. So I'm just going to fast forward, and it is going by the hour. I forgot. Okay, so it's still there. Yep, still there. And this now has, well, just under 9,000 liters. Okay, going past the hour. Okay, that is still there. That milk is still there. When does it go? Okay, so when does it... when is it going to go in there? Or does it not see it? Can't remember if it said every hour or how that worked. So... well, I think we are technically done with July. And I want to see if this mod does work. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do what we always do here in Pichonniere Valley. Let's just fast forward till evening hours. We'll double check the sale page. And yeah, none of this we need. And then 4,000. All right, so that's not distributed yet. And we got 6,000 liters left. But I mean, obviously, sleeping through the night. Well, the only way we're going to find out is probably just do it and see what happens. Maybe it just gets transferred at midnight. Oh, auto milk. 99.75. Yes. Because this is back up to 9,000 liters. So I do believe it went all into the cheese production. I think it's working the way it should be. Alright, so we do got some rain in the forecast. Not that big of a deal. A case combine. Again, I want to upgrade my combine, but that is going way over what we are trying to do here on horsepower. So that's going to be a no-go. Let's grab, because I'm going to use the Fent for drilling. Let's grab the Mercedes. We'll drop off that. We're going to get the slurry tanker, and we're going to do the 2 fields I got to plant the canola in first. We'll put some slurry in, and then we'll go around with the drill. Get the canola in. Obviously, want to put the slurry down first. That way we don't have to use that much artificial fertilizer when we are drilling our fields. We in the trigger for that. We are 344,000 liters of slurry we have. Oh yes, we did have just a pallet of mayonnaise. We got any more pallets of mayonnaise out here? Yeah, we do. We got some pallets of mayonnaise. That's good. That is very good. How good is it, you may ask? Well, mayonnaise, we now have about $33,000 worth of mayonnaise. And the cheese, we now have $82,000 worth of cheese. $18.41, yeah, still about $120 off the top price. And mayonnaise is $37.60. That's way off the high price by like about $600. Well, luckily I don't need money right now. If I was urgent about getting something, then I would. Oh yeah, so we also do have the mod for what's that mod called? Like neighbor AI work. So what they will do is they our neighboring farmers, AI farmers, will take contracts, and they're doing like a vegetable contract over there, I would assume. That's not our worker. That's nothing to do with us. That's just another farmer doing some work. Activate or deactivate automatic. Wow, words are tough. Deactivate automatic application rate. So that means it's turned on. So we just want to go ahead and lower this down. And again, I don't have to fully cover the field, but just try to do the best we can. Now, I want to do all the fields, but obviously since we're planting canola this month, I'm just going to focus on these 2 fields to begin with. Get them drilled. And then we only have to worry about them until they need the weeds to be killed in them, which will be next month in September. Well, does not look like I'm even going to get a headlet in. I do love this map. Very well detailed. We don't really leave the farm area as much as we used to because we don't do as many contracts as we used to. Because we got our own fields to take care of. I need to open up my window because it is getting hot in my room. Yes, it is getting hot in my room. It's up to 80 degrees all of a sudden. That's what happens when you start playing a game on a gaming computer. It gets kind of hot in here. So again, dairy production, which is right there where that tanker is, that yellow tanker, that's just a modded dairy production I put down here. I want to buy the dairy production that's on the map. And that's going to cost us $350. Not that it does anything more special than that one there. Well, actually, it does make a couple more things that this map offers. But it's not like it's going to boost our income that much. But it'll just be interesting to have that on there. Plus, it'll free up more of our own space. Not that I need any there either, but that was kind of my goals when we started here. Buy that dairy production. But actually, I might need that space in the distant future because I may, once we get even more established, yeah, we may end up trying to make some wine in the future. There are some mods on third-party websites where we can make some wine, which means, yeah, we'll have to do some grapes. I'm not going to do a whole lot, but we'll just probably do some wine. I mean, if you've been following along with the Chamburgo series, kind of like when I'm doing olives in that series, kind of. But we're doing the olive trees there. Yeah, we'll probably do something like very small here for grapes. I don't think I've done grapes in 25 yet. I've done olives on Dark Forest, and now I've done olive trees on Chamburgo. But I don't think I've done grapes yet at all. I'm trying to see where I left off here. Alright, so we get to here, which is good. Have any issues with the patch? I've only been playing though like an hour. But as far as I'm aware, I haven't had any problems with the new patch yet. Couldn't get the game to launch. Ended up having to remove all my mods and reinstall them only one by one. Only took about 4 hours and still working on it. Well, the best thing to do to always test to see if it's a mod or whatever is just always, just start a new save and just pick any old map and just see if the game loads without any mods whatsoever. But as far as I have had no problem. Mine loaded up pretty quick. And believe it or not, I think I am running about 80 or 90 mods on my series, so... and had no issues. Yeah, some mods, if it's kind of like American Truck Simulator, that same sense. Some mods are done by per patch. Other mods don't do that, so yeah, it can be kind of a pain. Yeah, this Mercedes tractor, I think when I do finally get the Kubota tractor, I think this Mercedes tractor may be just exchanged for it, only because it just doesn't really get going as well. And it's only 10 horsepower less than the Fendt, but being a manual transmission, I think that's what's holding it back a little bit. You run about 900 mods. So does your game take about 2 hours to load up usually, or just 900? Yeah, I was shocked when I was looking today and was loading in. It's like, oh, I've run that many mods. I didn't think I ran that many mods, but no new equipment, but there are new placeable methane refueling stations. Oh, yeah, I do remember seeing that in the patch notes. I just forgot about it. But I don't do anything with methane here currently. I mean, at some point I may get the BGA, but that's when we really are getting rich. Because I do bring silage there occasionally, and I think the slurry is accumulating faster. Well, not faster and faster, but I'm not using as much as the cows do bring on in. Yep, out of more slurry. Let's go get some more. I would like a bigger tanker setup for slurry, but as I said, since we do have a restriction of 200 horsepower tractors on this series, it'd be kind of difficult to be hauling bigger tankers when we kind of, I don't want to, yeah, we kind of struggled this a bit, I suppose, but also glad to see that today's stream is, we're not having any video problems with the stream today. As I mentioned, last Friday, I tried to stream, but the video part of the stream was just, I don't know what it was doing. And I was testing a whole bunch of things, and it wasn't my internet, so I had something to do with my either connection to YouTube or just YouTube in general. I did try it earlier this morning to make sure before I posted that this stream was going to be there. I'm like, alright, so I did a private stream and for about 15 minutes and didn't have any issues. I'm like, alright, we'll give it a go. Definitely an issue with the Butcher mod. It was a converted 19 mod. Yeah, the patch just came out today, so anyone, you know, give mods at least modders a couple days to fix whatever issue it is. Then, of course, they have to submit it. Well, if you're using a Butcher mod, I don't think that's going to be on the Giants. I don't think that's going to go through Giants. Kind of hard to see where I've been unless you bring up the mini map, because that usually helps. Last time I hope I had to fill up for this field. And I think we'll take a break from slurry spreading and we'll just grab the Fent and get right in here and get our first field replanted for next season. You know, hopefully your mod does get updated. It's kind of the one thing when the game has been out for a while now. You get modders, you know, or that are there at the beginning of the game's release, but as time goes by, they may lose interest in the game themselves, so their mods may not get updated. Seeing some of that in some of the other games like I play, like American Truck Simulator is one, where the mods don't get updated because the modder has issues. It might be just a little bit of a spot down here, but we got plenty of slurry to cover it if we do. I can't really see it on the mini-map or in the field, so I think I'm going to call that good for this field. And let's get this over into this field here and get it set up. All right. In the Fent. Are we getting some hail? Oh, hail no. Let's switch this over to canola. Well, not a wise idea to plant during a hailstorm. So maybe I'll continue putting down the slurry and wait for this storm to pass. Also, while I'm here, let me top this off with fuel. new content coming out. You're not sure how that's true. Oh, well, in Farming Simulator 25 in general, yeah, the player base is dropping month by month. Because the game has been out now for 16 months, give or take. And honestly, the content coming out for Farming Simulator 25, it's okay, but it's nothing that's bringing players back, it seems like. So I don't want to plant a crop because the hail could damage the crop. So we'll come over here and do some more slurry spraying. Yeah, well, the time I get to the wine production here, it's going to be a moment. It's going to be at least another, I would say, 3 in-game years, probably, before I get that far. Although I might surprise myself. I might be doing fine financially at that point. A shifter should work just fine on ATS. I don't... If anything, ATS and Euro Truck, I think it would get more supported. The only thing I'm saying about ATS, and I'm sure same things happen on the Euro Truck side of things, is the changes that they are making, and it doesn't seem like they're making it for the better for PC. I think they're making the changes because it's coming to console. That's the only downside I'm seeing as a PC player. Starting to wonder, did I already put... No, I couldn't have put slurry into this because straw bales were still in the field. Just have a quick look to see how long this hailstorm is going to be sticking around. I may speed up time just a little bit more than what we have going here. Well, it says 9 o'clock and nothing for 11. So I'm going to put the time scale at time 6 for now. So I'm kind of hoping that the next DLC for Farm Sim is something rather exciting to bring players back. Because in all my Farming Simulator series, the viewership is just slowly dropping as time goes on. It could be because it's bad content too. But yeah, I think people are just losing interest in FS25 as of right now. But that's always happened in Farm Sim. As time passes in that series, it just kind of loses interest. Yeah, well, the modders like in ATS, especially in the last patch that came out that had to do with the UI change, it didn't make the game better for PC players. It made it, uh, I don't, should I say worse? I mean, I would say worse, but yes, they weren't good changes, and it wasn't well received from the PC community. Not just because it broke mods, but it's just the way that it works compared to what it used to be. Come on, Mercedes, get going. I know the field's probably getting wet, and that's why you're having a hard time here. Let's just fast forward some time until this storm gets out of here. Alright, so technically the storm is gone. But since I fast forward time, it's going to take a moment for that hail to stop. There, now a farmer can think in peace. All right, out of Slurry. Surprise, surprise. Well, we are going through the Slurry. One plus about starting Roadcraft again has got the joy of Kelly's company. Hashtag bring back Kelly. I mean, they kind of brought her back in the expansion with emails, but that's not quite the same. I'll probably be streaming Roadcraft again later on this week. I played a little bit off camera trying to get some tedious work done on the map, so when we stream next, we can get right in actually getting some things done. But it took me a while to get around the map with the wrecking ball and demolishing some of the buildings. This is why I don't use the Mercedes that much in the fields anymore, just because it just, for some reason, probably because it's the manual shifter, it's, yeah, it's not as good as a automatic. All right. Let's get this back to the farm. We'll top it off, because I do need to get the other fields, like the grass fields, probably could use a good dose. All right, let's fill that up. All right, now with the hailstorm gone, that was lowered. So I'm not going to try to get every little corner of this field on the sharp corners, because our harvester has a hard time getting in there as well. So no sense of planting that far in. So again, the canola is kind of high priority for our farm, because we make it into canola oil, which then gets distributed to our mayonnaise production, which brings in a good amount of cash for us. Nope, I have not tried the moisture mod, because I trust Farmer G. And well, at least last time we talked about it and Farmer G was here, he was talking about those type of mods need more work, and that there was some issues with it. So I have interest in it. But after he told me that, yeah, it needs some more work done on that mod, I kind of just pushed it aside. I'm like, well, maybe sometime down the road. Sometime down the road, we'll have a look at it if it ever comes to. Hello, Crow Daddy. A good Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing well. I wouldn't say I got bored of Farmers Dynasty 2 yet. I mean, it just came out. I mean, I did play quite a bit of it last week. But I'm waiting for some quality of life updates in that game. The one thing that gets me about Farmers Dynasty 2 is the lack of content in some ways, and the amount of bugs they're having for a game that's basically just a remake of the original and Lumberjacks Dynasty put together on the same engine. The amount of issues that they are having, which, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's what we're dealing with. I was expecting more from Farmers Dynasty 2, especially when they were supposed to release an early access back in 2024. And the next thing you know, they yanked it off the they yanked it off the shelf basically and delayed it until just recently. Don't get me wrong, I still love the game, but it's disappointing to see the issues that they're having and the things that are lacking in the game that should have been there from the start, honestly. Like everyone is commenting on this, the live stream where I bought the farm and people say I gotta stop saying that. I purchased the farm and put all new material into it just to find out that yeah, you don't profit worth jack from doing that. And I'm still not understanding the concept of going to the future, to the past, the future to the past. It, you know, in my opinion, that's kind of wasn't really worth doing. Not the way I would have approached it, but you know, I didn't design the game, so as some people say, well, you want the game to be the way you want it, design your own. There you go, in the future, and the house is wrecked again. Also, which doesn't kind of make any sense, is if you're the grandson of the past farmer, how come when you go into the future, any farmland you bought, you don't have either? And like you said, the house is wrecked, so you got to redo the house again. Also, the skill trees seem to be messed up a little bit because I'm able to fertilize with a drone and an airplane when I haven't even unlocked the skill points yet. I mean, to be fair though, compared to the, well, actually when the first Farmers Dynasty came out, they were very active asking the community what they wanted to see, what they would like to have in the game, and they brought some of it to the game. But again, I'm just kind of disappointed in Farmers Dynasty 2 being put off for as long as it has been, and they're having issues with stuff that was in the original. And like I said, they really haven't added anything to the game either. It's just a reskin of the original with Lumberjacks Dynasty added to it. But again, don't get me wrong, I love playing Farmers Dynasty 2, even with all its quirks. And if anyone is watching from Toplets or Farmers Dynasty 2, yeah, here we go again. We got wild boars in our field. But luckily, the forest ranger, or the ranger themselves, because we did put out some feeding troughs for the deer, the forest ranger is taking care of the boars. The boars are not going to damage our fields. Do you use the bus very often? When I use it, I get stuck in the bus mode and can't get back out. I have yet to get stuck in the bus. Although I did, if you remember in the last stream I did on Farmers Dynasty 2, which was like last Thursday? Question mark? I did unlock being able to do more jobs for NPCs. And over the weekend, I did play a bit of Farmers Dynasty, going around just talking to the ladies and flirting to get my my teamwork skill percentage up. And I did a job in the future where I had to go deliver something. And guess what? I did not have to deliver it. She asked me to go deliver, I don't know what she wanted me to deliver. She goes, I need you to deliver this. You need to go deliver it. When the screen ended, it flickered to another NPC player. And they said, oh, thanks for the delivery. The screen cut again right back to the original NPC player that was giving me the job. And she thanked me for completing delivery and paid me. I didn't do anything. All I did was, I'll accept a job, and the screen flickered to the other NPC player, then back to her, and I was done. I didn't have to go anywhere. Just found out when they bring Farmers Dynasty on console, they just bring the game out and stop updating. Well, that's what they did it in the original. And I get comments still to this day on the original Farmers Dynasty series, people like on consoles saying, you know that bug you're showing there in early access, that's still there. I'm like, yeah. But I used to try to find ways around. I guess there were a couple buildings I remember saying, well, to fix this building, you can kind of do this or that. But hey, we could even talk about Farming Simulator 25. There are bugs in this game that have been here forever. And it hasn't been addressed. And Giant Software is a little bit bigger production team. Well, let's face it, there's no game out there these days that's 100% bug free. There's always going to be a bug in the system. But I'm just looking at, I remember playing Farmers Dynasty 2 demo a year and a half ago, or whatever it was, to what it is now, and I'm trying to think, what happened? Why was there a delay? What, you know? I mean, something must have really happened where they had to dive into it, but oh well. We play games to have fun, and that's what we're there for. So, as long as we're having fun with it, and I do have fun with it, I just wish it was better optimized, and we had more to it than what we just currently have, which we will at some point. And again, we can say the same thing about Farming Simulator 25, like was just brought up a little while ago. Moisture mods, or for watering fields and making sure your crop moisture where it needs to be. How has that not been implemented into the game yet? So we got one more field of canola to go plant. That was the one we just fertilized as well after this one. And then it's got to double check on all the other fields. I don't think there's anything else I'm planting in the fall, so we got time to get those fields prepped for next spring. Maybe I use a drone to deliver the parcel. Yeah, if you're just talking about what I mentioned on Farmers Dynasty 2, no, I didn't use a drone because when the screen cut from the first NPC person telling me, can I go deliver it? When it cut, it brought it over to the other NPC player and he was talking. So he wouldn't be talking to a drone. I understand what you're trying to say. Maybe they simulated that you delivered it by drone. But yeah, the NPC player was thanking me for delivering it in such a timely manner. Hey, I got paid for the job. I got a social point. Whatever. Yeah, but I've been trying to work just a little bit in Farmers Dynasty 2 off camera, so next time we stream it, I'll have enough to be able to unlock to where I can take the ladies on dates. I think that's what I'm working towards. But then I got sidetracked. I'm like, yeah, I got to get Alaska Gold Fever out. So I played a lot of that this weekend. Got 2 episodes out on Sunday. Right? I think that was Sunday. And got 1 episode out yesterday. And again, like I said, we should have, I got to double check on it. Or maybe someone can check that's already in chat. Hillshade Farm, last I knew, was coming out in April. And that's the demo we did back in November, I think. Which looked very interesting. There's been a lot of updates to the demo. So I'm hoping, and the demo was pretty good, but I had a lot of issues. But whoever's been developing on it, yeah, they've been working on it. Like every week, I see an update to the demo. See, I don't know if I'll get the Farmer's Dynasty 2 again this week, or at all this week. Because I want to get back into Roadcraft just a bit. And of course, I did want to get back into Farming Simulator 25 because it's been about 10 days since I've actually played, which 10 days for me is a long time. Actually, I was thinking, though, when I finish up the Shamburgo series, which is the recorded series, I may not do another recorded series. One canola field done. Just got back, and FS25 is rolling, really worth it. I mean, that's up to you. With precision, if you're... I keep hitting that bush every time I come up here. With precision farming, rolling adds about a 1% yield. So by the time you put the cost into a decent roller, and then you're working in the field, to me, your time and money invested in rolling is not worth it. That's just my opinion. So I do not bother with the rolling at all. There are mods out there that the seed drill or planter will roll as you plant or drill. So I mean, if you want to get that extra yield, that's one way of doing it. But yeah, just remember, you're there to play a game to have fun. So, I mean, if you like rolling, then go ahead and do it. If you don't, then don't. But I was just saying, precision farming, rolling adds about a 1% yield bonus. Base game, I think, is 2.5%. So basically what you can look at is, even on a big field, let's just say you harvest wheat and you get 100,000 liters of wheat off the field. If you rolled it, you'll get an extra 2,500 liters of wheat. And even on easy economy, that's not worth that much. But it all depends on how you want to look at it and how you want to play your farm. Again, play your farm the way you want to and have fun with it. Just because I may say that I don't like doing it, it's not worth it, doesn't mean that you should not do that. There are a lot of people that don't like precision farming, and that's... The only time I play without precision farming is when precision farming is not available. Like when the game comes out. It takes a while for precision farming to get released. What are the best mods for this game? That's a loaded question. It all depends on who you ask and what you're looking for to do. You roll your fields and also rake the stones. I got stones turned on in this series, and we have pulled them up once or twice. because I've had to plow a couple fields. I do have a roller on my farm. And the only reason why I got the roller is because when I plow the field, I got stones, and rollers will push stones back in. I did not want to go buy a stone picker, because on this series, I'm not allowed to lease or borrow. So a roller was a better option. Rolling is worth it as a remedy for OCD, just not financially productive. Yeah, again, I mean, yes, you will make a little bit more money by doing so, but by the time you buy the roller and you spend your time in the field, cost of diesel, and then repairing your roller and tractor for the time it's in the field, I think the slight profit that's there is just, it either offsets it or to me it's just not worth it. But again, like some people love the rolling. About the only person I really get to watch, another YouTuber, Chainsaw 100. Occasionally I will watch his videos. He always rolls. It's like one of the first things he tries to do when he gets on a new farm. He'll plant because he's like, I need a roller. And I just sit there and think to myself, well, he likes doing it. I wouldn't do it, but that's, you know, that's how everyone runs their farm differently. I've not played a whole lot. My wife got it and was messing around, so figured I would give it a try. That's how I started back in 2013. It's like, why farming simulator? What? And then I started, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of relaxing for me. And I do live in a state where we got a lot of farms, so to kind of understand, you know, started to learn more about farming by playing a video game. It's kind of interesting now when I drive past people farms and I can kind of explain some things to them. Obviously, I don't know exactly what it's like, because this is a simulator, not reality. But you got a better understanding of what it's like and why farmers have... Why do you got multiple tractors? There's only 2 people on that farm. Why do you got multiple tractors? What's that do? What does this actually do? Yeah, but that's like Mighty is saying, there's not really an end game until you feel like, you know, and kind of the good thing is you may feel like I don't have anything else to do on a farm. Well, you can pick a different map, and it makes it feel like a whole different kind of game sometimes. And then you can give yourself new challenges or things to do. And there's so many different ways that you can play the game. You can turn options on or off. Like we were just discussing, you can... You know, you can roll, you can not roll, you don't really have to. It's not that big of a deal. You can turn off lime spreading, you turn off stones, weeds. Pretty close to about 5,000 mods on the mod hub to choose from. Many, many options. I just came to a realization, though. On my farm here, I am going to be planting mustard in a field, and I think mustard needs to be planted in August. Because it's the same as canola. Yes. So I do have another field I need to plant. I forgot what field that is. Never knew what a windrower was until you started playing this game. Yeah, I remember back in 2013 when I was trying to make hay, I just cut the grass, and I thought the sun was going to dry the grass, and it didn't. That's why I learned, oh, you got to tend the grass to make it back into hay. And then you use the windrower to put it in the rows. All right. But yeah, there's so many different ways you can play a farm. You can just, have a farm that's for cows, so you can raise a lot of cows, or chickens, pigs, sheep, goats. Options are good. I mean, I just think about when I started this channel and started actually doing farming simulator stuff, how many different maps I played on at this point, and how many different ways I played on farms. Since planning to decide on my retirement plan, I'm going to go buy a case because I'm a red tractor guy and uh, a mower and go to mow airport grass. Turn it into silage and try to find a BGA, right? All right, so what field am I must have it mustard. Field number 65. Which one's 65? Oh, this one over here. This does do mustard, right? Mustard, yes. So crop rotation sees mustard as a cover crop, but we can harvest mustard, bring it over to the oil mill, and make old jars of mustard. All right, so we got to come over here and trying to think if I want to put some slurry in this field or not. I mean, I got slurry, save me money on artificial fertilizer, so but it's going to take me a few trips back and forth. I say a few, it's going to take me quite a bit. Well, we'll start putting down some slurry. If I get tired of it, then at least I'll get some of it done, and then we can get back to planting. Can you ever find a field with a good amount of stone? Well, if you're trying to collect stone for other projects, getting stone off a field is not the best. But I mean, if you're doing it because, in real life, as you know, you're going to get stones in fields. So if you're doing it just to try to have everything on, that's one thing. But if you're doing it trying to get... wait, what map? Well, I guess it would have been the first map, Riverbend Springs. We were, of course, doing all the buildings. I needed to make cement and all that kind of stuff, and I needed stone. Yeah, we weren't getting that hardly any stone off the fields enough to get that cement production even really going well enough. If you're going to be doing stone, is if you're, well, at least have stone turn on and you're doing it just for the realism of it. Try to get stones for lime making. I did that a little bit in 19, and yeah, it's kind of interesting and fun to do it. But after a while, it's like it's a lot of work just to try to save myself money on lime. And for me personally, it's like, well, lime is cheap to begin with, so I'll just buy lime. Yeah, I'm going to go through this slurry rather quickly. I have talked about also in the future what we could do is bring like tankers over. And I could put like slurries on to go back and forth too much. I could hire a worker for this. And then the worker will, well, not run into a tree like I just did. But I could put the worker where they just take it directly from the cow barn. You know what? I think we're going to go ahead and... Alright, so in order to set this up, I got to go to settings. Is that under game settings? View control. AI workers. There we go. AI worker refill slurry. We want to put that not on by cow barn. Leave that on cow barn. And then, if I just do this, we get a course going, and we'll have a worker do this. 3 headlands, overlap 0, because I don't care if it gets it all. And then let's put the start so I know where I need to be. Okay, so you can see the slurry is going down. The level in the tank is not going down. But if we were to look at the cow barn, slurry, just a little over 253. Now it's down to 251. The worker is taking the slurry right out of the cow barn. Alright, so we're going to let the worker do this. It shouldn't take him too long. Actually, it's going to take him about 13 minutes. Hello, Panther. Welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. And your Tuesday's going well. Yeah, let me just double check the crop rotation. So, yeah, we're planting canola. Yeah, rye and oats, I think, is what we're planting is rye in the spring. Rye is in the fall. All right, so we need to prep those fields for planting rye. So only the oats are going to be need to be planted. So actually, while he is doing that, we can actually get into here. And what I'm going to do is once he gets around here and goes around, we are going to start planting this field right behind the worker. And actually, while I'm waiting for the worker just to get a little bit ahead of me, I'm going to refill my water glass. I'll be back in about 1 minute. Man, I kept thinking it's getting hotter and hotter in my room, and then I realized the outside temperature has, since the stream started, has increased by almost by 20 degrees outside. I'm like, oh, that's why it's getting hotter in here. The sun's beating into the windows, and it's, yeah, it's almost 75 degrees outside now, which is nice, but yeah, it's getting hot. I think this is actually the first 70-degree day I've seen since maybe last October. So it's been a moment. Alright, so in goes the mustard. First time doing mustard on this map, but we did it on Pichonniere, the recorded series, about a year ago, and it looked exactly like canola. And again, just to kind of show you why we're planting mustard. Not for a cover crop. We want to put it in our oil mill. Old-style mustard pallet. So mustard in, mustard out. Yeah, so we're selling condiments here on Pichonniere Valley. We're going to be selling mayonnaise and mustard. .80 degrees in Mississippi, but you guys, well, compared to me, you guys are way south. So now that I got our worker destroying the slurry directly from the cow barn, I'll probably just have them do it on all the fields. I mean, occasionally I will still spray slurry now and then, just to mix up the jobs that we do, but when it comes to doing all the fields, it's probably better off just doing it like this. And very good to see, again, we haven't had this 6-meter wide Horsch direct drill for long, but this setup is working just fine. The drill says it requires 200 horsepower, and that's exactly what we got. So, and luckily all of our fields are pretty well on flat ground, so not much of a struggle. with the weather warming outside like it is, I really need to get outside and get some yard work done before all the foliage starts growing on the trees and such. Need to whip out the old chainsaw and take care of some stuff. What is my worker doing? I have no idea. So how many years for this map? We're in year number 9. Or are you asking how many years do I plan on playing on the map? So yeah, we're in year number 9, but if you're asking how many years we're going to be on the map, I don't have a set year. Just going to keep on playing until I feel like we've achieved everything I kind of want to do here. We still got to buy the dairy farm or the dairy production. And also looking into upgrading a couple of things on the farm, like maybe trade in that Mercedes for the Kubota, maybe trade in the combine just for a little bit bigger one, and also get into doing some wine making, which means grapes. Grapes will be the last thing I do because I don't want it to be I don't want to get it involved in too early and be like the olives on Chamburgo, to where it's like, yeah, it may be profitable a little bit, but I don't enjoy doing it as much as I thought I would. Every time I get involved with grapes and olives, because I don't do it that often, it's like, I should get back into that. And after like the second or third harvest and taking care of that stuff, it's like, yeah, that I remember now why I don't like doing it that much. So yeah, we do it. This is the field that's got some stones in it. We are going to grab the roller and go back around, and hopefully the roller will push the stones in. So here I thought after I got done with the 2 canola fields, I was done planting for the fall, but I was like, wait a minute, we got mustard. And then I forgot we got rye. Rye is a fall crop. I'm not a stoner. No, I don't like stones. Not in my fields, I don't. And since it's the only field I have stones in, I was like, you know what? A roller is cheaper than a stone picker. And at least with a roller, I'll get a little bit of a bonus from rolling and getting the stones back into the ground. But also get the bonus from rolling. As long as we don't plow or subsoil a field, we're not going to get any more stones. But when I bought this field, it needed to be plowed. That's why we have an abundant amount of stones, or had an abundant amount of stones. They are slowly disappearing. So while I'm still planting this field, I'm going to grab that Mercedes and get it over to the next field and get some slurry into that one. So, as a good farmer will do, we'll leave the tractor running with the drill running. Take a little bit of a trip through the woods here. Slow over this bridge because it does, if you go over too fast, the way I put it down, sometimes kicks the tractor over to the side. This field looks like it's got a good amount of fertilizer in it already. Why is this field... Did I put manure down? This field has already got a good amount of fertilizer into it. Okay, so maybe not this field. This field does not need it. Let me go to pH. No, not pH. Nitrogen. That is pretty green already. And so is that one. Well, yeah, I don't want to over-fertilize either. Alright, so we're going to ignore this job. Can we fold that up, please? And for now, you know, I'll just leave it parked here, I think. Get back into here. Yeah, I could have spread those fields with manure. Or slurry. But I think after taking a couple weeks off from Pichonniere Valley, I think I'm kind of caught up on everything that we were kind of doing here. Yeah, I don't see as many stones in this field as I thought there was. There's still some here and there. I don't know if this drill is pushing some back in also. Isn't there a... Where is that? Is that... Oh, this will show stones. So if I turn off rolling and weeds, yeah, we can see where the stones are here. Oh, there's a NPC worker over there, an NPC farmer doing some work. Oh, there's trees there, so you can't really see what they're doing. See, I have a decent amount of stones in here, but not a whole lot. So I'll have to see how September/October goes financially. We should have a good amount of cheese to sell and mayonnaise as well. That in total may bring us in 150,000. I'm hoping for it. I think all of our cows are now milking cows. I think they're all old enough. So we should have 84 cows, if I remember correctly, giving us milk. Helps if you put the seed drill down when going around the field. Just turn off the mini map. I don't think we really need that too much. Yes, we're turning it from a red and yellowish color to a nice green color. So if we do sell all that cheese and mayonnaise, we'll have to see if I want to, because we're going to be getting rather close to the large dairy production. Again, I don't think it's going to make as much as the modded one we're using. But since that was one of my original goals on this series is to buy that one, we either will save up, again, to buy that, or unless the Kubota or another combine comes up for sale. Obviously, getting that kind of stuff at half off. If I can get it half off and it doesn't have many hours on it, great. So once we get this field done here in just a couple of minutes, I think we'll try to use, I think the 3650 John Deere can manage the roller. Now I'm starting to doubt myself. In the crop rotation, I did say rye, and it's not spelled. While that's folding up, let me just double check. I have rye down, right? No, wait, spelt. Wait, but what field is that? Field 24. What's field 24? Is that the one I did? Yeah, that was canola. Never mind. So it would be field 94 and 16. Rye. Rye. Alright, so it is rye. September, October for planting. Okay. So let me get this on. Rye, all set. But that's for next month. And we'll top this off again. Seed, fertilizer. Oh, right to the John Deere. Gotta love that. And yeah, we'll take the front loader off as well. Gotta remember that the cows are going to need some feed at some point this month. Probably before I just go to bed. Where is the roller? Roller. I must be blind. Ah, it's back there. In that shed. Interesting that I put it there. I put it there for a reason. So I could forget it. I'm starting to wonder if I was daydreaming if I bought the roller. So again, this should increase the yield by 1%, but I'm just doing it in hopes to get rid of the stones that are currently showing. So I'll have to see when I go over some stones if they disappear or not. What is the working speed of this roller? Where are rollers? Rollers. I think it's this one that I have. Working speed should be 9. Requires 100 horsepower. I do believe this John Deere is like 116? Where... Nope, wrong John Deere. No, that's the baler. Hey, look at that, 116. And let's see, we're coming up some stones here. Those didn't disappear. Those did. So probably, it just slowly keeps pushing them back in. So it depends on what stage they're in. I'm going back in. It may take a couple of years, but we got the roller. We'll push them back in slowly but surely. Got a funny feeling though this is going to struggle coming back up the field because this is a slight decline, and of course coming back the other way will be an incline. Wait, why are we not rolling here? What happened here? Interesting. Is the edge of the field got an edge on it? Alright, so don't go right to the edge of the field on this side. Yeah, it was lifting it off the ground. So don't overlap. All right, so the John Deere, I mean, yeah, it's gonna struggle pulling this up the hill. Can't even get around the corner. Alright, it's doing better than I thought going up the hill. I think, as much as I would like to use a different tractor for this, I think we're going to go back and get the Fent. $36.50 is like, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can't, I think I can't. No, I can, I can. See if it gets rid of these rocks. I think not. No, I got rid of those. Let's just drop that off there. And we'll go get the fence. Luckily, we're just not that far away from the farmyard just to swap out tractors. Yeah, it's getting rid of most of the stones we're going over, but not all of them. Even though about an hour or so ago we were talking about rolling, where I said I don't like really to do it, but we're doing it in this field again just to remove the stones. That's why we got ourselves a nice cheap roller. Any stones that were not rolled over there, no, so I'm not going to worry too much. I'll probably come back and roll there just because it'll bother me if I don't. But of course, September, that means we're going to have 2 fields to plant, and then 3 fields, the 2 canola and the 1 mustard field we just planted. those will have weeds in them. So I'll have to spray those. Not the widest of rollers, so it's going to take a little while to get this field done. Hey, got rid of those stones too. Lovely. I know, it's kind of hard to tell looking at the stones because some of them look like the same size of others and some are going in, some are not. MB track is the only thing used on your farm. I'm assuming that's like a big roller. How many farms in my area use rollers? I would say 0. I don't think I've ever seen a farmer roll their fields. But again, it's not like I'm there watching everything that they do around me. May have something to do with the soil type that we have here, or maybe the crop type as well. The farms around here mainly grow corn. Either sweet corn or they grow corn for making silage for the cows. And of course, they do crop rotation every couple of years of soybean. That's what the real farms where I live mainly do. Corn for making moonshine. I don't think a lot of that goes on here anymore. You roll your fields in Kansas and in Scotland. Kansas I can kind of see. Do you have to roll the fields in Kansas? I think that's a... isn't like in this central, Midwest, central area part of the states, you have to because of the wind and all that. It helps the dust from blowing around. know there's a couple states that, by law, farmers have to roll. Well, up here in the Northeast, we don't have that problem, so I think that's why farmers are not required to roll. Well, looks like we've gotten rid of maybe so far 90% of the stones we've gone over. And you can't plow in Kansas anymore either, huh? One lone wild boar in my field. If I miss little pieces, not going to be too concerned about it. Again, I'm just rolling the field to help get the stones back in. I think this was our second harvest in this field. So I'm going to get out of the tractor here in just a second, just to reconfirm that rolling with precision farming only increases the yield by 8%. So, got to make sure the soil types are the same, and they are. So where we rolled, expected yield is 98%. And okay, so right here it may actually do 2%. So it might be the same. It says needs rolling and it says 96%. But right there it says 97% needs rolling. So yeah, it still could be, might still just be 1% overall. The less stones, the better. We'll have a look at the chart when we get done rolling, see how many stones are left, but like I said, I think we're going to get rid of about 90% of the ones we had. Let me get this over here, because that is going to bother me. Even those little stones over here, I got to cover it at least. Make it look like the rest of the field's been done, you know? Couple more minutes and the rolling will be done. Cut up plows for junk. I was going to say, why don't you sell them, but being in Kansas, you're pretty much surrounded by, I think, every state that requires you, well, it says you can't till. So you have to go pretty far to get rid of those plows. Might just have like 10 little batches of stone left in this field. I don't think if I just keep going over it, I'll get rid of them. I think you gotta do it once a year or whatever. I don't think just keep rolling over it, we'll get rid of the stones. John Deere stopped making plows in 19. Did not know that. All right, let's have a look at the map and see what the stones look like, if any. Well, I mean, there are some stones. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, there's a pile of stones right there. I don't think if I just keep going over, it'll work that way, but... Oh, nope, got rid of those. Oh, got rid of those. Hang on a second. I didn't think that would work. And the next three are just like kind of over here somewhere-ish. I sit corrected in my seat. Oh, there they are. And I see that one, so the other one should be too far from it. No, didn't get rid of that one. That one disappeared. I thought I had a little bit more piles of stone around, but maybe not. There they go. That dude must be plowing the field. Because he's getting a lot of stones over there. Do I got flight mode on? I do not. Are you plowing over here, sir? Yes, you are. That's why you're getting tons of stones. Well, meanwhile, our field has none. But we do have a little bit of stones in our other field, right at the entryway, because I was setting that up to be our farmyard and then changed my mind afterwards, so I had to plow it up because I put down cobblestone. So we got a little bit of stone here somewhere, just a couple of them. I think I got rid of all the stone in this field. Yeah, there's a little... Yeah, it's off the field. But we're here. Alright, so that's probably the last time you'll see me roll here, unless I buy a field or need to plow up a field or something of that nature. But, yeah, I'm not too sure I'll be rolling again. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's probably going to wrap it up for today for work, because I do have a meeting in about 20 minutes. And I don't think I can really get involved in doing more farm work and get it done in the 20 minutes. I think we're going to be calling it for today. I will be streaming tomorrow. Wednesday I usually don't stream, but since I didn't stream really Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I will be streaming tomorrow, and I think we'll be right back here on Pichonniere Valley doing a little bit more farming. So my schedule, I think, for streaming for the rest of the week is tomorrow Pichonniere Valley. Thursday, I think I gotta take the day off because I gotta head to town, and then Friday and Saturday I'll probably stream Roadcraft on those days. Unless another game gets released in the meantime. Like I said, Hillshade Farm is another one. Last I checked, they said April of 2026, which is, well, now. So if that game comes out, then I'll change my plans. But we got a lot of work done today in about the 3 hours. We got this field replanted with canola. Same thing with this field over here. We did baling of straw over here. And we got mustard planted over here and rolled the field. And now in September, which would be next stream, we got to plant rye over here and rye over here. And take care of weeds in all those fields. Oh yeah, and also the grass fields. Actually, when you're up in the air, because we are running the Veredo DLC, which our grass field will take damage from driving around in it. It looks like in the first couple of cuts, I know they said about over 9 cuts, you'll get about 5% damage. That looks like more than 5% already. Just the way it looks. You can see the patches of grass up in the air from putting the lime down. Same thing in this field here. So further on down the road, we have to get ourselves one of those drills where we can replant the grass in. But that'll be down the road. But anyways, appreciate everyone being here for a quick 3-hour stream, I'll call it, back on Pichonniere Valley. Yeah, feels pretty good getting back into Farm Sim on Pichonniere. Been a couple weeks since we've been on here. So felt kind of fresh. So the break did me some good, I think. But yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow doing a little bit more farming. And yeah, we'll see what we can get done. Again, appreciate everyone being here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a good start to your Wednesday, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, have a good one.